Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. We're really excited to have you here as we dive into something new for Three Rivers for kindergarten through fifth grade, which is our Three Rivers virtual online school. My name is Jessica Durant, and I have the privilege of working for this amazing district as the director of K-8 curriculum and instruction. And tonight I'll be giving a lot of information to our K through 5 parents about what is this virtual online school and what it will take at home, what support your students will need at home, what supplies, and what the next couple of weeks look like. So without any further ado, we'll get started and we'll get to the next screen.
Siguiente página.
All right, we're going to do some introductions in just a minute. And tonight, then we'll also get into the nuts and bolts of what is TVOS. You'll have a chance to ask questions. And what we'd ask is that part of Zoom is a Q&A. And so if you can put your questions in the Q&A, we will get to them as quickly as we can at the end of the presentation. We are recording this and we will put it online for parents to watch as many times as needed. And so that will happen as well. And hopefully we'll have it up by tomorrow. So we're really thankful about that part. And we're working on our translation. We're doing a live translation in Spanish. And so we're working on that piece of it for those that need that language translation. And so thanks for being patient with us as we figure out a little technical hiccup, but we'll hopefully get that going. So who are we tonight? You'll see a whole bunch of panelists and they're going to introduce themselves in just a moment and their role with TVOS. And we're very excited to have all of them learning from their learning space. Your student will have their own learning space at home. And so we'll have a chance to see our teachers. So first and foremost, I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves, their affiliation with TVOS and how they're going to support students, and then just something fun about themselves. So we're going to start with our kindergarten and first grade teacher, Miss Mandy Graves. Go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Mrs. Graves and I am going to be teaching kindergarten and first grade. I'm super excited to work with all of you guys, and something awesome about myself is I love to hang out with my family and we like to do fishing and anything water related.
Go ahead, Sally.
Hi, I am Sally Clements. You might see my email saying Sarah Clements, which I'm both of, and I'm going to be celebrating your second graders and the online program. And one of my really favorite things to do is probably for the last 30 years, I've been making little sock monkeys. So I love to do that. And I look forward to meeting all of you.
Thank you so much. Our third grade teacher, Laura Saunders, is not able to be with us this evening, but she's going to be supporting our third grade students in this TVOS program. And I'm going to move it to our fourth and fifth grade. Go ahead, Tammy.
My name is Tammy Griffiths, and I'm teaching both fourth and fifth grade students in TVOS, and I am super excited to meet my kiddos and get to know everyone. What I enjoy doing in my free time is traveling and occasionally zip lining.
Thanks so much, Tammy. We also have three other people that are joining us this evening that will be providing a range of supports for all students in K through 5 TVOS. So I'm going to let Travis and then Regina and then Allison go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Good evening. I'm Travis Osborne, and I will be one of the TVOS administrators for K through 12. I just want to let you know that I'm here to help. So reach out if you have questions. If you need help problem solving, my email's on there as well, and I'm sure they'll show my phone number later. So please do not hesitate to contact me. And one of my favorite things to do is work out in my free time. So thank you.
I'm Regina Jordan. I'm the ELL coordinator for Three Rivers, and I moved here about 4 years ago. And the thing I love most about this area is driving all over Southern Oregon, both in my personal time and as part of my job. And I get to meet really interesting people. So I've started collecting sort of like, I met the yak rancher and I've tried yak, and I met the, the one in Cave Junction that raises alpaca. And this area is amazing with wineries and award-winning cheeses and all sorts of things. So as a foodie, I'm in heaven.
Hi, I'm Allison Kelly, and I'm the special education support teacher for TVOS. I've worked in the district off and on for 4 or 5 years, and I am really, really thrilled to be a part of this amazing team and help to launch a program that I think is really going to support kids a lot. What do I like to do? Water, the beach, the river, drinking it. And I fly fish. I do Scottish fly fishing. So that's kind of odd, but it's a lot of fun.
Thanks so much to our amazing staff for introducing themselves. All of us can be reached by email, and we are eager and happy to answer as many questions as we can. So we're going to dive into a whole lot about what is TVOS for your K through 5 student. And again, lots of information. So we are recording this and you can rewatch it at a later time. So this is our agenda. We've already gone through the introductions and the norms for parent online orientation. We'll get to that in a second. I'll be doing an overview of the program. Mrs. Griffiths is going to talk about using Canvas as our access to all of the links you'll need. And then at the end, we'll talk about supporting learners and do a question and answer. So again, thank you so much for those parents that have used the Q&A feature in Zoom. We have some great questions that I've already marked and said, yeah, absolutely, I can answer that one at the end of our presentation. So please use that feature. We love that our parents are being kind to each other, giving us some grace as we're learning this new feature and new addition to Three Rivers. Be polite to each other and then be engaged. So those are, as we call it, B3 here in Three Rivers. So let's get into what is TVOS K-5. Just as a refresher, TVOS stands for Three Rivers Virtual Online School. And this is in replacement of being either in the building for K through 3 or in replacement of distance learning at home for grades 4 and 5. But there are some big differences between TVOS and distance learning at home for grades 4 and 5, and we'll go into that in just a few minutes. There are 3 main keys to TVOS being successful. The first one is that it's local. You will have an opportunity for your students to be able to participate in a live lesson about 30 to 35 minutes with a Three Rivers teacher each day. It is optional. You'll also have an optional time each day for a 15-minute, what we call Care and Connect, for a chance for our teachers to be able to connect with students, read a story, do some social emotional learning, and connect with kids. And both of those are optional. The biggest piece right now is the online. This is not attending anything in the building. And I really want to emphasize that internet connectivity is required for Pearson. Pearson is the platform that we are using for the curriculum, and it is not able to be downloaded. There are no packets that can be created to substitute. There has to be online connectivity for approximately 2.5 hours per day. So that's a really important piece for for this online TVOS. There is a lot of flexibility, and that's something that a lot of parents, especially in these crazy times, that's something that speaks to a lot of families. And so we will work with you as your individual family of a schedule that works best to be able to support your student getting online and learning every day, but not necessarily tied to a specific time schedule throughout the day. What will your student need to participate? The first thing they're going to need is a device. And so Three Rivers provides that device to your student if need be. There's some paperwork and a deposit that we need to help make sure that we cover the cost for some insurance on that device. If you have not had a chance to pick up the device, that's okay. There's a lot of school closures due to the smoke and evacuations for our Illinois Valley schools. And so patience is the number one piece with picking up a device. If you haven't picked up a device and you'd like one, please contact your neighborhood school. All of the staff should be working tomorrow in the schools, and you could contact them for a time to pick it up. The other thing you have to have, oh, by the way, you could actually use your own device if you wanted. It does not have to be a Three Rivers device. So it could be your own family device that you've got. But if you have multiple students, we recommend that you have a device for each student, as it probably will make it a lot easier in your household. You also have to have internet connectivity. We talked about that part. And then the other piece is a learning coach or a caretaker to support your student as they go through the learning. There's a lot of times throughout this Pearson Learning Online where they ask the student to answer a question and show the caretaker in their house, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, whomever it may be. And that person needs to look at it, see if it's the correct answer, and then mark in the computer if the student is ready to move on. That caretaker is vital for Pearson. Without that caretaker, the Pearson curriculum will not be effective for your student, and your student will experience a lot of frustration. And we don't want that for kids. So we want to make sure that we set your student up for success and that we have a caretaker or a learning coach nearby to help them during their lessons. All right, what else do we need to participate? You're going to need some school supplies. These are some pretty basic supplies in terms of a package of paper, a couple of spiral notebooks, a couple of folders, one 3-ring binder, and you can see the rest of them, some markers, crayons, pencils. This is for K through 5. Same for all of the grades. And each of the teachers are going to be spending time later this week and next week helping students organize the supplies. As always, if you are not able to provide supplies for your students for whatever reason, your school is here to help. If you just contact your neighborhood school and just say that you need some help providing some of these are basic things that all of our schools have, and we don't want anyone to go without. So if you're not able to provide these supplies, give the local school a call and we'll make an arrangement for you to come by and pick up whatever you need so that every student can be successful. Your student also is going to need a learning space. You can see each of our teachers have created at their house a learning space that is quiet, that's away from anyone else that could distract them, that's away from a television so that they're not distracted to watch a movie or a game or a video game, that they're able to put their computer or their device on a table and hear it and see it and be organized. And our teachers next week will be working with students to help organize that learning space. But as parents and caretakers, we're hoping that you can help them think ahead about what that space might look like at their house, where it could be, and how you can support your student with maybe a clock or those school supplies that they're going to need to keep them organized. All right, what's a typical day look like for your student Monday through Thursday? Remember, Three Rivers is a 4-day school week, so our lessons and online connectivity will be Monday through Thursday. You could choose, if that worked for your student, to have them do some of the work on Friday or the weekend. That absolutely is fine. But in terms of the help and the support, the Three Rivers teachers will be available Monday through Thursday. So every day we'll be providing those optional live teaching lessons and the optional Care and Connect piece. Then you and your student will be working in Pearson on the lessons that they provide, completing that coursework, turning in the assignments, and then continuing the next day with the next live lessons and Care and Connect. Again, those two are optional. So you could, you have the choice of whether you join or not. We also have another resource for parents, and that's Tech Help. This is a very tech-heavy school. It's virtual, it's online, and sometimes you might run up against an issue with a Three Rivers device, excuse me, or login information. Your password needs to be reset, any type of technical help. And you'll see on the right-hand side of the screen that we have a tech support line from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday. The number is listed and it's also on our website. Give them a call. They're here to help with all of your technology issues as you and your student get acquainted to this new virtual school. A typical day for a student. Let's talk about that piece. So over the course of the day, it's approximately 2.5 hours of instruction using the computer and screen time a day, approximate. Could be for older students a little bit more than that. Every day at an assigned time, your student has the opportunity to join with their grade level teacher in a live lesson. Mondays and Wednesdays, that lesson will be English Language Arts. Tuesdays and Thursdays, that lesson will be math. For those of you that, most of you have enrolled in TVOS previously, and last Friday, you should have received an email welcoming you from your TVOS teacher with your time for your student to attend. That's a very specific time, and again, it's optional, but we're asking that you attend at that time. We've divided up the group, the big grade level, into 5 different groups. And so we're hoping that your student can attend at that time. Throughout the rest of the day, you can see that the provider for the English Language Arts, the math, the science or social studies, the PE or art, those are all done by the caretaker at home, the parent, the guardian supporting their student, and Pearson. That's done on your own with the caretaker or the learning coach helping them along the way. There is a 15-minute social emotional time that our Three Rivers teacher is providing later in the afternoon. That's for the entire grade level all at one time. And you'll hear stories read aloud. You'll have a chance to have the teacher interact with the class, and that's for a very short time in each afternoon. Again, both of those times with the Three Rivers teacher is optional. So a daily schedule, again, this is a sample for what one of our teachers would look like. Again, this is not for a student, but I wanted you to see from a teacher's point of view this is Miss Griffiths. She's teaching our 4th and 5th. Thanks for letting me steal your daily schedule. This is what her day looks like from a teacher's point of view. She's got some prep and some meetings in the morning. And then you can see that she has 3 groups with her 4th graders, either group A and B and C. And then she has 2 groups of 5th graders, D and E. Then she'll have some time with all the 4th and 5th for what we call Care and Connect. And then she has some time in the afternoon where she will be online, similar to this, helping any student that needs any support. And then the afternoons is doing some other support and connecting with students one-on-one and communicating with parents that need additional help. So if you're trying to get in touch with your TVOS teacher during the morning and sending emails, most likely if it's after 9 o'clock, they're going to be working with groups of students live, and they may not be able to answer back to your email. So just wanted to give that heads up that you knew what was happening behind the screen out in virtual land for all of the other students in that grade level. What's coming up with TVOS this week and next week? So today and tomorrow, we are working on getting all of the logins ready to go. We've received lots of emails asking questions about student login to Pearson. Those are not ready yet. So if you're thinking, I haven't gotten an email about Pearson, that's okay. It's coming, not a problem. You also will be getting an email tomorrow with a link to your student's Canvas page. Canvas is the learning management system, and it's the umbrella that's going to hold all of the links for your child to get to the different meetings and the different websites that they will need. One-stop shopping for all the different links to the meetings that your child will need. We are not doing any Pearson lessons this week, none. So tomorrow you will receive from your grade level teacher an email by the end of the day tomorrow with the link to your Canvas homepage for that grade level. You'll need that on Wednesday if you choose to attend the live learning lesson at that specific time. If that's not something that you're wanting to attend, then there isn't anything else on Wednesday. Same for Thursday. The optional live teaching lesson will happen. And again, the link will be in your grade level Canvas page. There are no Pearson curriculum lessons on Thursday either. You can see on the screen what the focus is for Wednesday. We're doing introductions, meeting the other students in your group, meeting your teacher, just like we would the first few days in a classroom, building that sense of community in an online platform. And we'll continue that on Thursday. More introductions, getting to know you, creating a sense of community, helping organize your learning areas and your school supplies. But again, it's that building sense of community, just like we would if your student was in a regular classroom in a school. That's what we would focus on, because that's the foundation for success. Monday, September 21st, that's a week from today, we will start our lessons in Pearson. More information is coming from us to you as a parent later this week about Pearson. We're in the final stages of getting everything ready to go. And rather than confuse you with multiple emails, we're waiting till it's all ready, and then we'll send you information. So no stress if you haven't gotten anything. It's coming the end of this week, but you haven't missed out. Promise, pinky promise. As always, you can see on the screen, and we'll put it on our website, there is technical support, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Thursday. And we are truly here to help with any technical needs that you may have. Lots of questions about how does my student log in to even just the Chromebook? How do they get into the Chromebook? We emailed last Friday on September 11th, a document in both Spanish and English that lists how you get into that device. What is your student's login and password? So the table that you see on the screen was also included on the handout that we emailed out to all parents. It's okay if you didn't get the email. We've also posted it on our Three Rivers website on the TVOS homepage. So you can always access that anytime, 24/7, even if you didn't get an email. We also put some information about Canvas. Again, Canvas is that learning management system that will house all of the links that your student will need. Also on our website is a how-to for parents. How do I navigate Canvas? And it's specifically done for parents, a how-to lesson. So that how-to Canvas was done by Addison Pate, who works for Three Rivers, and he's our communications coordinator, taken very, very slow steps to explain to all parents the basics of Canvas. I highly encourage you to take a few minutes and watch that, and we'll post that on our TVOS website. All right, I'm going to turn it over to one of our teachers, Tammy Griffiths, who is going to basically walk you through, once you get into Canvas, what should you see? So I'm going to turn it over to Tammy.
Thanks, Jessica. So this is an example of a homepage that your child will see when they open up the Canvas page. They should see some information about the teacher and some contact information. And then you'll notice it says TVOS Online School. There will be some kind of a picture here, and the student can just click on that picture and it will link them right to Pearson. There'll be some family resources that will be linked, and also the teacher's daily schedule is there that we just looked at earlier. And if you look down the page, you'll see that there are live teaching session links for each group. So like Jessica had said earlier, teachers emailed parents the different group that your child would be in, and you would just find that particular link and click on that link, and it would take you right to that live session. And then if you scroll down a little bit further down the page, you'll see the live stream for Karen Connect is also right there. So it would just be clicking, and then your child can listen to the story that your teacher is sharing. And then the office hours at the very bottom, if your student needs help, the days and the time is right there. So they just have to click, and their teacher would be right there in that virtual meeting room ready to help. And I think that's all I have to say on this page. Is there anything, Jessica, that you'd like to add?
I think you covered it. It gives us a chance to be able, all of the Canvas pages, regardless of what grade you're in, will look very, very similar to this. Very simple, very easy. I highly encourage you, once we get into Canvas, and again, we'll send you that link tomorrow, to be able to have your student get in. There is an opportunity for parents to have what we call a parent observer account in Canvas. On that email we sent out last Friday, there is directions on how to create that Canvas parent observer account. So I highly recommend that you take a look at that if that's something that you're interested in. Grades is not something that will be in Canvas. That's something that shows up in Pearson. And later next week, you'll get information about getting a parent observer account in Pearson. We're just not ready for that yet, but we'll get that information to you when it's set up and ready to go. So this is what the Pearson login will look like once we are able to get it going. And again, you'll receive an email by the end of the week showing how and where to create your parent account, and also how your student logs in. We're even going to try to do a little 2 to 3 minute video so that it's easier and a step-by-step process on how to get in and how to take a look at it. So that email will also include your student login information for Pearson. So we'll go ahead and send that out. There's no learning in Pearson this week. You're not behind at all, so I don't want any parents to worry and to stress. This is a self-paced online school. So students are able to work at their own pace, and they can easily get going in Pearson next week. Here's some of the most common, frequently asked questions, so we say, about TVOS for K-5 students. So what subjects will be included in Pearson? Again, Pearson is that online curriculum that you, as parents and caretakers, will use to support your student as you work at home. Again, it's English, math, science, social studies, art, and PE. And so all 6 of those courses will be loaded for your student to work through during the day. What about attendance? So attendance can be taken in multiple ways. A student is not required to log in to the live learning lesson in the morning. It's optional. They also are not required to check in during the Karen Connect every day at 2. It's optional. What is required is that they daily engage with the lessons. And each of the teachers will be checking on every student in their grade level to see if they're making progress and adequate progress on working through each of those subjects. And so as we get going, it's going to take us a little while to get into the groove. That's completely understandable. And then if we see that a student is spending very little time online or is having difficulty making progress, that's when the teacher will reach out to the family and find out if there's any barriers for that success and if they can help support the student in any way. So that is, we are asking that students spend approximately 2.5 hours minimum on screen time, engaging with a parent or guardian or caretaker right next to them during each day. But that doesn't necessarily have to be during the hours of a traditional school day. We talked about how much time. It's a little more than 2.5 hours each day. What if we don't have internet at our house? Well, the connection to internet is required to be in TVOS. There is no other alternative to be able to access the material at Pearson without having connectivity. So if lessons cannot be downloaded and it's not something where packets can be printed off. So if connectivity is a concern at your home, then TVOS probably is not the right learning platform for you, and it might be comprehensive distance learning, which could be downloaded and worked on offline, or for K through 3 back in the building at your neighborhood school. How do I get through Pearson? We talked about that. You will be giving information to all parents later this week with a little how-to video, guiding you through the easy steps to log on and the most important places to click as a parent. And it'll take us a little while, all of us, you as parents, us as teachers, and the students as well, to get going into this groove of Pearson, but we'll get there. I promise you there's going to be some hiccups along the way, but that's part of a growth mindset, is to see a problem, have a hiccup, and get through it. It's for students and for teachers and for parents. So we appreciate your grace and your patience as we go through this, and we'll all learn together and be a stronger supporter for our students as we go. The other most common question that we get is, how will my student be supported? Either if they're talented and gifted, they need English language services, or they have an individual education plan. And all students are supported in TVOS with whatever services that they need. We have some specialists, just like Regina and Allison here on the line with us tonight, that will be supporting students, in addition to all of our teachers supporting our talented and gifted students. So we'll get going, and all of those, all students will be supported in whatever they need, just as they would in the building. That's a lot of information that we just gave to you, and I appreciate your patience out there in virtual world. I think we have some questions. Let me go over here and check. Addison, what kind of questions do we have that I could help answer?
Let's see here. I've got, when I'm checking my son's class schedule for Canvas, there is nothing on it.
Okay, and that is true. Each night we upload students into Canvas, and we're hoping that that could be done, should be done by tomorrow, and you'll get an email link with how to get into your child's Canvas account, because you're going to need it on Wednesday morning if you want to access those live lessons. So look for that email tomorrow. Email to the parents with a link for helping their student get into that Canvas account.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, when will the kids get login information to TVOS? Did you just answer that? Yeah, okay, moving on. Are children scheduled for the same online time each day?
Great question. They are scheduled for the same time each day, whether it's English language arts or math, but again, that is optional. But it is the same time each day, Monday through Thursday.
Can students work ahead in those modules, or do they have to follow a pace?
It is self-paced. They can work at their own learning rate and level. We will be checking to see if they're on pace to progress through the curriculum as need be for a typical school year. But we also know that this isn't a typical school year, and that with evacuations and with smoke and with COVID-19, that we're starting a little bit later than normal. And so the pace will be adjusted for that. Pearson's doing that with most of the school districts across the United States. So it is self-paced, and that's the important piece, that you can do it at any time, at any rate for your student, but it will require a lot of parent support at home while your student is learning.
Is there a student training tomorrow at 10 a.m.?
There is not. That was changed to Wednesday, to that individual time that you received in an email last week. Now, we have some students that just enrolled in TVOS today, and so they probably didn't get that email last Friday from their teacher. You'll be getting one tomorrow, so don't worry. With that time, we'll make sure that that gets sent out. And if you didn't receive an email at all, then maybe there was an error in typing your email as when you registered your student. And so that might be why the email didn't go through. We are putting on our TVOS website, for the Three Rivers website, the names of our kindergarten first, our second, our third, and our fourth and fifth grade teachers. So if you need to email them directly and you're not sure who that is, well, you can jump over to that TVOS website in just a few minutes when we're done and be able to email them directly.
Okay, so there's a question here about Canvas and difficulty with the app. I'm going to take just a minute since that was kind of my wheelhouse. And I just want to show you an easy spot that you can get to when it comes to finding out more about Canvas. All you need to do is head to our Three Rivers website at threerivers.k12.or.us. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you will see here, there's a Canvas parent training. Now there's the replay video that you can watch when it comes to walking through the step-by-step of how to set up your parent Canvas and what ways to make it most efficient. We also show the app and how to add a student account so that you can be a parent observer. So I do encourage you to watch that video if you're needing some additional help with Canvas once you get your Canvas information. The other thing I encourage you to do is there is a parent information sheet on Canvas that has some information, though your K-5 one will have something a little more specific for the TVOS Pearson set. But the instructions are there as far as how to log into Canvas and how to set up your Canvas account. So I do encourage you to take a look at that if you get the chance. Okay, so let's see. Let me go back to some of the additional questions here. Grades. I thought grades were going to show up on Parent View. Is this now going to be through Pearson instead?
Yes, grades will, it's actually progress towards meeting the lessons in Pearson. And that's where you will be going in as a parent to view the progress. It's a progress bar, so it'll show if you're on track, if your pacing is going too slow, if you're way ahead of schedule. It'll show all of that in Pearson through your parent observer account. And again, you don't have the directions yet from that piece because it's not set up ready to go, but we'll get that to you once we start our live lessons in Pearson. The only thing that you would use, that we will use for Synergy for grades, is actually the progress report and the report card. That's the only piece that that we will use in Synergy.
We have two students. Will there be different times on Wednesday or will they be at the same time?
Each student has a very unique time based upon their grade level and based upon their grouping. So best recommendation is if you're unsure about those two times, to email your student's teacher for clarification on what time that student is assigned to a group.
Mute. Are there due dates for assignments or are there no due dates?
It's more about progress and being on pace. And so you as a parent and also as a teacher, and even the student, can see if they're on pace or not spending enough time on each of those during the day. So the due date is more about being on track and on pace, assuming that you're spending approximately that many minutes per day on each of those subjects. And again, the totality is about 2.5 to 3 hours online on screen time each day, with parent support sitting pretty much right next to them.
Okay. Is there a link for the TVOS website? There will be links for the TVOS website along with the Pearson login. Everything will be connected though through Canvas. So Canvas is going to be your sort of fundamental when it comes to getting to wherever you need to go when it comes to TVOS itself. Again, as has been said before, if internet is an issue, or if this format is not going to be the best format for you, if you're K through 3, there is the on-site option that you can register specifically with your individual school and have your kid participate in on-site. And for 4-5, there is distance learning at home. Those are the two options that are going to be made available through Three Rivers School District. Would a laptop or a Chromebook be better than an iPad? No, there's not really one versus the other. It's a matter of both do the same thing. And so if you have an iPad, super. If you have a Chromebook, super. Either one is going to be better than the other necessarily in that case. All right, let's see here if there are any others. So I know that some of you are going, wait, my question, what about my question? Some of these questions are very specific to you, and I appreciate that you need individual answers. I encourage you, if it's an individual specific question, to email. Jessica, you have the keyboard, I have the mouse. I'm gonna hit plus, and if you would be so kind as just to type the TRSD email address so that everybody can see it. If you have a very specific question to your to how TVOS is going, I encourage you to send an email directly to that email address, and we will try to answer it as soon as we can. There are some questions here that we don't have answers for yet, or we are still wanting to make sure we have the best answer. So we will take these questions that we don't get to answer tonight, and we will try to get those answered as quickly as we can. And then there's some policy questions, and this is a training. This is not a policy discussion. So I appreciate your suggestions, and then we will take all of those suggestions. But we won't probably give you an answer tonight on those. So I just want to give you some clarity as to why some of these questions don't get answered. I do want to go back to a slide, or at least remind you in the slideshow, and you'll be able to go back. There is a technical support line that's from 7 to 7. So if you're getting particular errors tech-wise for logging into certain items, you can work with the tech support team. However, some of you have not been set up yet. Again, we're going to be sending out that setup information Wednesday. Is that correct? Did I hear that right? Tomorrow, Canvas information will be going out. So if you're not able to log in yet, don't stress. You may not have that actually finished in terms of its activation. If you haven't heard from your child's teacher yet, don't stress yet either. Again, a lot of this has been taking care of all of our tech stuff first before we start to roll the train out of the station. So if you haven't heard yet, that's not a biggie. What's the app to Canvas to download on my system? There's 3 technically you can download. You only need to download 1, and that is the Canvas Parent app. If you go into the Android store or the Apple store and you look up Canvas Parent or Parent Canvas app, you should see the Canvas version for parents, and you'll be able to download that to your phone. If you can't find the school, the secret is 3 Rivers, one word. Just push it all together as one word, and then you'll be able to find the school district at that point. Now, if your Canvas account hasn't been created yet, you're not gonna be able to get in. So don't necessarily jump there. I do encourage you, go watch the Canvas video, because there's really easy ways to get there rather than trying to figure it out on your own. Okay, let's see. I've got time for 1 or 2 more. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I can. Let me fix this so people can see it. There. Okay. All right. Okay. So yes, define the school, put it all together. This will be available. This video will be available on Facebook. It's already streaming live on Facebook. Hi, Facebook people. We will have it available on Facebook, and I will be putting it up on YouTube as well. And there will be a link to that on the front page of our website. So if you missed something or have additional question, I know this is K-5, but I haven't heard much about middle school. Are they having instructors also?
Yes, they are. And Travis Osborne, who was here on the line tonight with us, is our administrator supporting the grades 6 through 12. And so if you have questions about that, we encourage you to email Travis, and he can troubleshoot that with you and hopefully answer all of your questions. And his email also is on our TVOS website, and his last name is Osborne, so it's travis.osborne. And we'll go ahead and put that on the TVOS website as well, so you can direct all your 6 or 12 questions to Travis.
Okay. Mute. Let's see here. Okay, since I see it here, what's the tech support phone number? I'll go back to the slide very quickly. And the tech support phone number is 541-862-3113. Again, that's 541-862-3113. Okay, I thought I saw one. Hold on a second. I think I got one more to squeeze in. If my child has a morning appointment and can't make that time, do I need to communicate with the teacher?
Great question, because that's going to happen whether it be an orthodontist appointment or they're ill, or there's just another commitment with daycare. And that's where the flexibility of TVOS comes in and is very helpful for some families. That is an optional time. You don't have to let the teacher know that you're not going to be there. You're always welcome to email them at any time, but you don't have to. What the teachers will be looking for daily is that your student is engaged in the Pearson curriculum. So they'll be able to get on to Pearson and to see at some point in that 24-hour span, has your child worked on those lessons and made progress in each of those subject areas. So you don't have to. You're always more than welcome to do that, but you just need to make sure as a parent or guardian that your child is working approximately that many hours in Pearson each day.
All right, it is 5 minutes to 7. And my wife wants me to come home for dinner. I hope these questions have been, this question and answer session has been helpful. I hope this presentation has helped to clarify many of the questions you've had about TVOS and the K-5 online program. More information will be coming out. Look to your email boxes soon. And again, if you have questions, you see the email on the screen, feel free to email that to us and we will reach out with those. Teachers, thank you so much for coming out and being with us tonight. Thank you to all the parents who've been participating or have been on Facebook Live. We will be doing these again, I am certain. And be sure to watch for the replays if you need them. Good night, everybody.